Welcome everybody. Thank you for coming over this evening. I hope you're all comfortable. I bet you're all curious what I'm here to discuss about. Well, I am going to tell you guys about how our body maintains homeostasis. I bet you're all pretty curious what is homeostasis. So homeostasis is when our body maintains a relatively constant, stable, healthy, functional internal environment. It's when our cells, our organs, our organ systems, everything works together to maintain an equilibrium and to keep a constant state despite of what change might go on. And by doing this, it keeps us healthy and happy. So there are many things that can occur that will change the state of our internal functions. Our body has different ways to keep this process of homeostasis going. We have equilibrium, autoregulation, extrinsic regulation, negative feedback, and positive feedback. Homeostasis regulation controls our cells, organs, and organ systems to adjust to reactions that are trying to take our body out of the homeostasis state. There are three parts to this process. There's a receptor, a control center, and an effector. So when something changes in our body, these receptors pick up the signal and send it to our control system, basically in the brain. And those process it and sends a command to our effectors in our body, which then react and change, which brings us back to homeostasis. So we have equilibrium. Equilibrium is when our body has two opposing forces that become imbalanced. Each physiological system maintains a state of equilibrium to keep their conditions in the normal range. For example, when we have the rate of heat produced equals the rate of heat lost in our bodies. Then we also have autoregulation, which is when there's a change of environment and a cell or organ which automatically adjusts and brings itself back to normal. So for an example would be when a cell or organ in our body needs more oxygen, it will send out a signal which will increase the blood flow to that area and brings oxygen to it. And then we also have the extrinsic regulation. The extrinsic regulation involves the nervous and endocrine systems sending signals to cells, organs, and organ systems that are telling them to tell them to react. The endocrine system is especially important because it secretes a hormone into our blood system which regulates all the cell activity that's going on. So examples of this would be like the sugar in your blood. Sugar in our blood is extremely important, but when you have too much, it can be really dangerous. So our body will pick up this signal and then in return, the pancreas will release a hormone known as insulin, which absorbs all the extra sugar in our body. Another example would be the heartbeat while exercising. When you start exercising, the brain sends a signal to your heart, which tells it to beat faster, which increases the blood flow and the oxygen throughout your body, helping it to function properly. So then we have something called negative feedback. Negative feedback is when your body reacts to a change of environment by opposing the change and bringing your body back to homeostasis. So an example of this would be when you're in the hot sun and the temperature in your body starts to rise. The receptors pick up this signal, send it to the control center in your brain, and in return that sends the commands to your skin telling your sweat glands to sweat, which then evaporates off your skin and releases the heat and helps you lower your body temperature. We also have positive feedback. which is when our cells, organs, and organ systems bring the body out of homeostasis to help speed up the process of a change that's going on. So some examples of this would be when you have an excess amount of bacteria or pathogens in your body, and the cells are trying to fight it off. The positive feedback will kick in and allow your body to heat up to kill these bacteria, and it'll push it faster, giving you a fever, which raises your body temperature. That's why it happens so quickly. Eventually, after the bacteria most of it is destroyed, negative feedback will kick back in and lower the temperature back to normal, bringing you back to homeostasis. Another example of this would be when a mother needs to give birth to her baby. So the brain picks up the signal that it's time to give birth, and the body starts to contract. Positive feedback allows this to happen, allows your body to contract and change, and speeds it up so that you can give birth to your child. And then afterwards, negative feedback comes in effect and stops the contractions and lowers all of that, and bringing you back to homeostasis. Sometimes negative feedback forgets when or doesn't know when it should kick in, and that's occasionally when you have people that die of a fever or die giving birth. So all 11 of our organ systems interact and depend on the hard work of all the other organ systems to keep us healthy and alive. When a body goes too far out of homeostasis, that's when it leads to disease or even death. This is only a small portion of what our body goes through to keep us to stay in homeostasis, and helps keep us in a healthy environment that keeps us all happy. I hope you all learned something new about your body and how it keeps its functions going to keep you healthy and happy. Thank you.